Welcome once again to the Visual Vapor Reviews. I'm your host, Michael Cobb.
And I'm Ariana,
my manager. And today is Monday, so we don't have anything really planned today. I'm just going to be chit-chatting, showing you a new flavor that I picked up the other day. Just got a little bit of it, and some other stuff going on with the channel. So, what are you doing, honey? Well, turn it down. Don't want that in my video. But in any case, so we'll be chatting about a few things. We're going to try out some new flavor that I just got, and we're going to talk about what's coming up in the channel. Hopefully we'll be able to get some stuff in from Visual Vapor Reviews to review later on. Also talk about what's been going on in the channel, try and get an idea of what's going to help grow this channel. So primarily, lately, I've been doing flavor reviews because I don't get a lot of mods these days, or tanks, but every so often I do get a good tank, and I do reviews on all of them, but I might be using, or soon changing to, Visual Vapor Reviews for liquids, as well as, it'll be primarily a liquid or flavor channel as well, but it'll also have tanks, mods, and the usual stuff. But I'll still be supported by SS Vape. I've also signed up for a flavor review setup. And also, for those of you who may not have may not expect this, take a look at Ariana's makeup today. Does it look good? Tell me down in the comments, because guess what? I did do it today. Ariana wanted to do...
I did the eyeliner though.
Yeah, I couldn't do the eyeliner. It was a little too hard for me. My hands shake every so often, so I do have a little bit of trouble, but...
How come Mama, your boyfriend/fiance does your eyebrows better than you do?
Oh, I did do the eyebrows really good.
Yeah, you did that better than I did.
Well, then I guess I did something right. So the makeup was she wanted to do the makeup challenge where your significant other does the makeup for you. I had a little bit of trouble with the eyeliner, but everything else seemed to work okay. But this isn't a makeup channel like Simply Nailogical. This is a vape channel, guys. So why don't I pull up a chair and we can chit-chat a little bit. There we go. So we've got a whole bunch of things going on today. Looks like my tank's a little low, but that's not what I'm worried about right now. We've got a brand new flavor to take a look at, but it's not from SS Vape. It's from an entirely different company altogether. So, those of you who have heard of Cutwood may not like it that much, but I do like some of their flavors. So why don't I pull up a cloud so you guys can see what it looks like. Let's see if it comes out of the fog, people. Out of the fog for sure. The Mega Melon by Cutwood. It's just a small 15 ml bottle, but it works amazing for what I've got in mind because I only need a few drops to try this out. So I haven't tried this flavor yet, really. I'm going to put it on my RDA because you guys who know me know that I prefer testing a flavor out on my RDA when I get it. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean off the excess liquid from the tank and kind of get it ready to go. Now, the Cutwood series comes in 3s, 6s, and 12s, depending on where you get it from, but you can have it specially tailored to your nicotine taste. Mine is, of course, 0 milligrams. We're down at 66 watts. I'm just going to vape off some of this flavor before I put it in the Cutwood. Alright, I think she's ready to drip a little bit. Give it one more hit. Clouds aren't that big because the flavor's going. In fact, how about I show you guys how to change the coils, the cotton on this real quick. So let me get this primed up and ready to go so you guys can see what it looks like when I do it. So just so you guys can get an idea on how I remove the cotton from this RDA, I've already got one side undone. So I'm going to use tweezers here to remove the second part of the RDA's cotton, kind of pull it out of the wells there. There's a lot of juice in it left over, so I'm not going to really use all that much, but this is what it looks like after you've taken it out. And the cotton is definitely getting a little old, so it's time to kind of like pull that out and get ready to use fresh cotton. So you can kind of see how that's all soaked up and looking horrible. So what you want to do now is pour off the excess juice, and then I do need it on for the video because there's not enough light. Actually, never mind. That's good enough. So in any case, I'm gonna burn off the excess liquid so that it can turn back to red and burn off that excess cotton there so that the coil gets nice and hot and burns off all that liquid.
See, this is natural light.
There we go. So that cotton has completely burnt off and the coils are getting nice and hot once again. I'm gonna go give those a quick rinse down real quick, so give me just a sec to do that. Alright, so I've gotten that completely cleaned off. The coils are gonna get nice and hot real quick. I'm gonna burn off some of that water real quick for a bit. Then I'm gonna use this Allen wrench to kind of straighten the coils out a bit. Just enough to get some good spacing in there, kind of get it ready to go so that I can actually use it a little bit better, because these coils do tend to bend for some reason. There we go. Okay, then we'll heat it up very slowly. There we go, they're looking nice. Okay, so while we're waiting for that to cool down a bit, I'm going to open up my cotton. I'm going to clean off this area real quick so no juice is soaking into my cotton while I'm working, because there is a little bit of juice on the table, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, get the cotton ready to go. I have one good sheet of cotton left for this RDA, so I'm going to do my darndest not to overcut it, because I have to use an X-Acto knife. So I'm going to get a strip about roughly that long ought to do it. So we're gonna pull right along that line of cotton, try and get it not too thin but not too thick, so to speak, at the same time. There we go. Kind of just pull it apart now, just a little bit, so the fibers come apart and you can kind of see where I'm going with it. Then I'm going to give one last final swipe so it's ready to go. Don't want it too thick, don't want it too thin, but at the same time you don't want it to be impossibly long. So then what you're going to do here is you're going to tighten it till it's a little pinhole. Then I'm going to set my mod down. I'm going to pull the cotton right on through. We don't want it too thin, but we don't want it too thick either. So I'm going to try and bush it out a bit from here. I'm hoping that I didn't go and make it too thin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it through till it's about there. And then after that, I'm going to pull it a little thicker. And then I'm going to poke it into the wick holes here, so it's got just enough to, so it's not too fibery but at the same time not too thin either. Seeing as there's so much of it to go around, I'm going to actually try to wick it with the exact amount, because I know there's a lot here, but at the same time I don't want to have too much, because there's a lot of cotton here. So what I'm going to try to do is kind of wick it but then come back through with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this through and then try and, I don't know, pull it back almost, but I'm not sure how I can do that right now. So the thing is with me, I haven't really wicked these in a while, so I'm a little nervous. My hands are shaking a bit. I've never actually wicked them on camera, and I think I might have cut my cotton a little too thin, which is kind of a sad thing because I didn't really want to cut it so thin. But what I could probably do instead is use it to wick both sides. So I'm going to fill this through here, kind of use it to wick it up all the way. I'm going to use my Allen wrench to kind of stick it in there as far down as it can go. Try and get rid of as much of the fiber left behind as possible so that this thing is fully wicked up. And then I'm going to use this to kind of stick it all in the juice wells, so to speak, because I know that this can be used as a juice well as well. So what I'm trying to do here is kind of wrap it over and under at the same time. So even though I'm using just one strip of cotton, there's a bit of a juice well here, so I can kind of stick it in. And that's what I'm trying to go for here. So there's a lot of loose cotton left behind, so what I'm going to try to do is use some of the leftover. Now this is not professional wicking, I'm by no means a professional, but there is a lot of juice well left over, so I'm trying to kind of fill it at the same time, fill that spare area with what's left, because I have everything I need, but I don't have the scissors for it, so I'm having kind of a little bit of trouble here. But this should work well enough with what I'm trying to do. So, there we go. There we go. Okay, so the one thing we don't want to do right now is fire it. So I'm going to try to wick this up as much as possible. We're going to get as much of this cotton and cutter wood on here until it just soaks right in. I'm going to put it right in the middle, all over the coils. Get it all over that. Kind of get it ready to go. We're trying to minimize leaking here, so I'm just trying to get as much into the cotton as possible here before I start vaping. So, as you can see, the liquid is soaking right into that cotton. Don't, when you're re-wicking your coils, never be afraid, and never be afraid that you're using too much for your first wicking. Try not to get greedy and like not fill it a certain amount because you're trying to save juice or whatever. These coils will soak it all up on their first wick, so always be sure to thoroughly wick everything so you don't get a burnt hit. Otherwise your flavoring will not be satisfactory at all. So I'm probably going to end up using like 2 vialfuls, dropperfuls for this piece, and that'll probably make it a little easier. So let's see if I can adjust the camera a little bit better. There we go. And as you can see, the Mega Melons is definitely running low here, so I'm trying to use as little as possible at the same time because I don't have that much liquid for it left, but I'm going to try to get this thoroughly wicked. Okay, now that it's pretty much thoroughly wicked up, I'm going to attempt to fire it without burning it. Let's see if she does it. There we go, she's looking pretty good. Alright, so let's put the cap on it and try vaping it. Oh, wow. A little strong at the moment. It's because of the first wick up, it's always a little strong. Gonna have to wait for it to kind of thicken up a bit. Wow, definitely a little strong. Let's give it a wait. Alright, so we are back and we've got it all wicked up. I had to pause the video a little bit just because this thing was taking a real long time to wick up properly. And yes, you are supposed to wait 3 to 5 minutes for it to wick up, so I did pause the video a couple of times. I'm just gonna clean that up. There we go. So we've got the Mega Melons in there. It's ready to go. It's all wicked up. It tastes really good. So let's give it a vape at 80 watts. Now, definitely not a bad flavor at all. It's a little strong hitting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it a little bit in my Falcon tank. I'm going to switch that out real quick. Pause the video. Okay, we're back. So we've got this thing completely wicked up and ready to go with just a little bit of the Mega Melons. So I'm not 100% sure how well this will work, but I'm definitely willing to give it a try. Wow, that stuff is strong. Hitting hard, hitting strong. So definitely a good flavor right there for Mega Melons. I've got just a little bit of my cotton left, so I'm going to put that all back in the baggie there that it came, the Victory RDA came with. This is the last of the cotton. I should be able to wick it up at least 2 more times with the RDA before I have to buy some more cotton. So I'm a little nervous, but this will definitely be a good backup when I need some more cotton later on. So we'll put all the tools back in. This comes with a couple of replacement screws in the RDA and some tools to fix it up and get it ready to go. This is definitely a good tank for flavors. That's why I always turn to my RDA for my flavors when I'm testing out a brand new flavor, the first thing I do is put it on my RDA. So, let's see. Let's see if I can get that taken care of. And so there was a lot going on with the Visual Vapor reviews. I've got the Cloud Black, the UL Crown 3, and the Sigelei Moonshot 2 coming in soon, hopefully. I'm going to try and order those later on today if I get my creds. There's a lot going on with it. I'm pretty excited. And there are a lot of people who are sending some hate mail that I'm really not too impressed with. A guy named Liam Smarty and some other people saying that I'm a cringy piece of crap. There's a lot of things going on. And I gotta leave it up to you guys, because yes, I do have my own quirks for video reviews. Yes, I do have some shaking and some nervous racks, but that's mainly because of when I had my accident. I broke both my wrists, and I do stutter a little bit. My hands shake a lot, so I have a lot of trouble. Not used to really doing a lot of different things on camera. Like for the first time wicking up that RDA, I had never done it before on camera. Yes, I can do it on my own just fine, but on camera it's a little different for me. So I do apologize for any cringe problems, or if I'm a little stuttery, I do apologize. I am working on that. There's a lot going on with Visual Vapor reviews, and sometimes it's hard to keep up with what I'm doing. But all the time I'm doing it, I am doing it for you guys, so I definitely try to do my best for you guys. So please bear with me. There's a lot coming up. There's a lot to be done, and I'm gonna hopefully get a new subscription of Vape Liquids later on in the week or month. I don't know exactly when they'll come in, but thank you so much, guys, for having me. I definitely try my hardest, and there are a lot of people who definitely do it better than me. They have a lot of better equipment and camera. I'm working off of just a phone. I literally do these videos off of a phone for YouTube. So once I get monetization, or if I get a lot more subscribers, I'm gonna try and get some better equipment for you guys so I can do this for you. The clouds are definitely delicious coming off this thing. As you can see, I've just got a little bit of the Mega Melons because I don't want to be wasteful and use the little bit that I have. I'm going to try and save the cut wood for the RDA, but once this tank is done, I'm going back to my strawberry fluff flavor for a while. Now, something I wanted to try, I've never really tried it before. These are, even though they are, they look like just little cool things with sayings on them, they actually protect your glass a lot more. So even though this tank is a little big, I think that it looks kind of cool on it, but the cool thing about them is not only can they be used as a glass protector, they actually have a hack to them. You can actually use them as grips. So if you're trying to unscrew your coil piece and you're having a little trouble getting a grip, that will add a little bit of extra grip to it. Saw that on a vape hack. So I've got 2 coils left for the Horizon Tech Falcon tank. Ooh, I burnt myself a little bit with that RDA when it was firing. But in any case, before we wrap up here, I'm going to switch over to the RDA, see how well that's wicked up, and see if it's got any change in the flavor. I've been vaping at 80 watts with that Horizon Tech Falcon tank, so I'm going to switch it over to the RDA so I can keep it at 80, see what it does. Noticing it's definitely a lot airy now that I've used less cotton. There's definitely, I definitely butchered it a little bit. As you can see, the cotton is definitely not as neat as it should be, and that's because I've never really done it on camera. Usually and plus I had to use an X-Acto knife to cut the cotton. Normally I have a pair of scissors that I can use, but I couldn't find those today, so that's what I'll be working on. But the RDA is definitely good for flavor. I love RDAs myself. The Sigelei Moonshot tank that I'm getting, the Moonshot 2, that will be a RTA. That'll be my first time doing an RDA with a tank, because I love RDAs when I'm just using some vape coming out of the tank after I took it off. There's definitely a downside to RDAs, which is you have to drip on them every few hits, and the thing with that is that but there's a big pro to that. So the pro and con of an RDA is that yes, you get amazing flavor, but you get instant change. So the moment you put a different flavor on there is the moment it changes. But the cool thing, the downside is, yeah, you do have to drip every so often, and it does leak a bit when you use too much liquid. My main favorite thing about it is the instant flavor change. You don't have to worry about waiting for the flavor to wick up. You just put it on the coil and it's ready to vape. So in any case, so coming up with visual vapor reviews, I'm planning on doing some flavor reviews, some tank reviews when they come in. If I get my credits today, I'll be ordering those first thing, because the moment my credits come in, I go right for the flavor. And then, hold up, definitely need a little bit of a drink. Bought some milk the other day, so. And yes, this is mine. I'm not just drinking it out of the carton because it's someone else's. But I bought that the other day for me to kind of enjoy my visual vapor reviews with a little bit of a drink on the side. So that's what's going on with visual vapor reviews. I'm going to try and upload for Thursday or Wednesday, or Tuesday, depending on what I'm doing. Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, either one of those days. But I guarantee a video will be on Thursday. So usually Fridays are for reviews, and when I don't have any reviews, I don't do a video on Friday. So I'm sorry for the wonky upload schedule. But once I get more product to come in, I'll have a lot more to review on, and I'll save the other products for different days of reviews. So every time I get a product, I'll do a different upload, and then the credits will be hopefully a little more even. But what's coming in for credits, now here's the cool thing. I've done a lot of video reviews, and because they haven't gotten to me, they've kind of built up, so I have a lot of creds coming in to me, hopefully. So that's what's going on. Oh, by the way, in case you weren't able to read this, it says, yes, it's a clone. I don't really use clone mods all that much, but that's just a funny way of putting it on there, so it's definitely cool. I think the Victory RDA actually might be a clone. I don't know. I don't know how to classify clones, so who knows? Maybe it's just like a similar but different variation. Like, for example, the iQune i200 might be a clone of the Smock Alien. I'm not 100% sure how that works exactly, but there's a lot going on, and I definitely want to apologize for any kind of cringe in this video, or stuttering or shakiness in this video. My voice might sound a little shaky, and I definitely want to apologize for that. There's been a lot going on. We had a little bit of an incident a few days back. Someone got a little bit hurt. I'm not going to go into any detail because he doesn't really want me talking about it, so just let you know kind of the reason why things are a little off today. But in any case, thank you so much for checking out the visual vapor reviews. There's a lot coming in, and there's going to be a lot more. Oh, maybe you haven't seen this yet. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but I got new tattoos. So this one is Fire, Water, Air, and Earth. And then this one is Pisces. So that was a free tattoo day for a friend of ours that was doing free tattoos up in Londonderry. Her name was Sam. It's up in Londonderry. It's called the Scorpion Tattoos if you want to check them out. So definitely check them and check a look into them. Check out their amazing artwork. And as you guys can probably tell, right here is the Friday the 13th Reaper tattoo. And this was my first tattoo, Chaos and Kindness. I really love them. They're awesome. But yeah, that about wraps it up. So without further ado, I'm your host, Michael Cobb, and these are the Visual Vapor Reviews. Peace, guys. I'll see you next time.